hours. I've been up for 22 hours. 5 o'clock.
All right, good afternoon, listeners, and welcome to the Career X Show on Unical Radio International 103.5 FM, the radio station that offers you education beyond barriers. I'm your host for the show, U to the K to the E to the T, UKET Friday, and this is Career X Show where we empower students for career success. So if you are listening to us, it is time for you to buckle up because this is time for you to level your career game. So whether you are a student, a fresh graduate, or just looking to sharpen your skills, we've got you covered with expert advice, success strategies, and real-life career hacks. Stay locked in because your career journey begins now. All right, welcome back. Welcome back. If you are just joining us, time check. This is 12:31, and this is the Career X Show on your favorite radio station, Unical Radio International 103.5 FM, the radio station that offers you education beyond barriers. So, today on the show, we will be talking about the importance of soft skills. Last week, we took our time to talk about job market trends, how one should understand and study the job market trends and everything about the job market trends on different areas of job, and career paths. We looked at the health sector, the education sector, we looked at the tech sector, and even the agricultural sector, right? We look at trending job opportunities within these sectors. And today, we will be talking about the importance of soft skills. Why is soft skills relevant, to anyone who is pursuing any career path at all? And of course, how best can you utilize soft skills for your career growth? All right, so let's have an overview of soft skills. What exactly are soft skills? And I remember very, very well that in our last session, we talked about soft skills and technical skills. So today's sessions technical energies, and abilities. Soft skills has to do with your personal attributes, your control of emotions, your behavioral, development and abilities. Also, soft skills focus on how you work, not just what you do. Soft skill focuses on how you work, not just what you do. So you would agree that what you do and how you do what you do focuses on the technical aspect of your work, and how you work has to do to a great extent with how you execute, the steps you take, and of course the skills that you display in the course of you executing those projects or tasks, whatever the case may be. So what are examples of these soft skills that we have been talking about? One of the examples of soft skills would include communication. Now, in the last session, I explained how communication is very diverse and has to do with active listening and, of course, the verbal aspect of communication, which has to do with the talking and the speaking, right? And until you are able to combine active listening with good verbal communication, then the art of communication has not happened per se, right? So you have to learn how to speak well, fluently, and in a way that people who are listening to you would understand and comprehend what you are saying and get the message you are trying to pass, and also how to listen attentively in order to not misunderstand the message that is being passed on to you. So another example of soft skill would be teamwork. Teamwork has to do with a lot of collaboration, how well you are able to manage the energies of the persons, your team members, and of course their skills and their abilities, as well as their strengths and their weaknesses, for the collective good of their organization or workspace. Also, another soft skill I would like us to talk about is leadership. Like I mentioned in the last week, during our session last week, leadership cannot be overemphasized. It cannot be said to have been talked too much about, right? Why? Because leadership is very important for anyone who is interested in working in an environment where other persons also work, whether or not you are this kind of person who likes to work, to be at the forefront, or you like to lead, behind the stage. You need to have leadership skills, because in one way or the other, you would, interact with people around you, either as the leader or the sub-team leader, or even as one who is being led. You also need to understand leadership in order for you to help whoever is leading you to lead you effectively. All right, so let us look at why soft skills matter for career growth. Why does soft skill matter if you must grow in your career journey? Number one, soft skills influence workplace relationships and collaboration. Now, technical skills cannot deal when it has to do with relationships and collaboration. Regardless of how experienced, how skilled you are, you need soft skills like communication, effective communication, adaptability, conflict management, and other soft skills in order to foster a good working relationship in the workspace, right? Also, talking about collaboration, of course, you need to be able to learn how to manage conflicts in the workspace, how to communicate effectively, how to lead people in the workspace, how also to manage people in the workspace in order to foster collaboration, in the workspace for the collective good of the organization or wherever you are working. Now, soft skills also affect leadership and conflict resolution skills. I mentioned how leadership is not just, learning leadership is not just for the leader. It is also important for whoever is being led or willing to be led to study leadership and understand the art of leadership in order to make leading easier for the leader, right? So having soft skills like communication, of course, like conflict management, soft skills like critical thinking, like emotional intelligence, especially emotional intelligence when it comes to conflict resolution, right? It helps to, improve leadership and conflict resolution in the workspace, right? Thirdly, soft skills often determine hiring decisions when technical skills are equal. All right, so again, to re-emphasize the importance of soft skills, having soft skills along technical skills, right? Let's assume that you are a very skilled person. You've got all the technical skills, that you need to work in that role, you need soft skills to stand out. What makes a doctor, a medical doctor, who just graduated and got their license, different from another is the level of soft skills, that you have. Because that would mean that, for both qualified doctors, if one goes to an extent of understanding how critical thinking works, problem solving, emotional intelligence, innovation, all of these are soft skills. Adaptability, communication, all of these are soft skills. The qualified doctor who has these soft skills stands a better chance, to be hired over the qualified doctor who does not have these soft skills. The same thing applies, in those maybe those areas that we don't see as very professional areas, even among people who work in the development space, whether you are a web developer, whether you are a project manager, whether you are just a data analyst, as long as you want to be hired, when it comes to hiring, most organizations will always consider people who have extra certifications, extra abilities. And I will tell you for a fact that having soft skills can give you a better edge over people who also possess the same technical skills. So let us look at key benefits of soft skills, right? So before I go on to mention the key benefits, if you are joining us via your radio and not online, feel free, you can join the conversation. You can call in to ask your questions via our hotline, which is 080-9444-058. Again, our hotline is 0809-4444-058. You can call us and join the conversation and give your input and also ask your questions to get clarifications on the session so far. But if you are joining us via Unical Radio on YouTube and of course the online platforms, you can drop your questions in the comment section. We would be willing and available to attend to your questions in the course of today's session. Meanwhile, you can also stream these sessions via the Unical Radio, right, on the Radio Garden. So let's go back to the key benefits of soft skills. Key benefits of soft skills. Number one, it enhances team collaboration and productivity. I think that is very explanatory, that soft skill enhances team collaboration and productivity. Number two, it improves leadership and management potential. Number three, it boosts employability and job retention. So that is to say that just like I've mentioned earlier, in cases where there has to be hire and fire, maybe the organization needs to, let go of some staff and then retain some, your soft skill will always make you stand out. If you're a good communicator, if you have critical thinking, if you have problem solving, if you have adaptability, if you have innovation, and a whole list of these soft skills, it will always put you on the better edge, right? So lastly, for the key benefits of soft skills, it enables better conflict resolution and adaptability, like I've earlier mentioned, right? So let us go on to the essential soft skills for career success. Number one, communication. Communication. These are soft skills that, better puts you, gives you a better chance, to be hired, right? Number one is communication, like I've mentioned. Number two is emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence, or if you like, emotional quotient, right? Number 3, adaptability. Number 4, critical thinking. So I think I should emphasize, I should speak about adaptability, right? Adaptability simply tells about you being able to adapt to new changes in the work environment and adjusting without negatively affecting the goal, right? The set goal of the organization and the workspace, right? Number 4, critical thinking and problem solving. That I think is very self-explanatory. Teamwork and collaboration. Number 6, leadership. Number 7, time management. I think time management is also very, very important because in most cases, we Africans are not able to manage our time, right? Especially because we have a lot of responsibilities within the workspace and even outside the workspace, right? So being able to manage your time, if you show yourself, prove yourself to be one that has the ability to manage your time effectively, I think you would always stand a better chance, you know, in the career space. So let us go on to developing soft skills as a student. How can you develop soft skills as a student apart from just taking courses, right? Apart from just taking courses on Coursera and some online platforms, how do you develop these soft skills? How do you, imbibe these soft skills in your day-to-day lifestyle? Number 1, by participating in group projects and activities. So some of us, even in our classrooms, we shy away from group projects, we shy away from group tasks, we shy away from classroom duties that involves other persons, right? So our advice to you today is that one of the surest ways for you to develop soft skills, imbibe soft skills as a student, is by participating in those group projects, in those classroom activities, and every other project, even outside the classroom, right? Number 2, take on leadership roles in clubs or initiatives. Don't say, no, I am not a leader, I am a follower. You have to learn how to lead, Like I mentioned earlier, leadership is not just for the leader. It is also important for the led or whoever is going to be led to study and understand the art of leadership. So go on to take on leadership roles in clubs or initiatives. Number 3, practice public speaking and presentation. So especially for those of us who would always be the backbenchers when it comes to class presentations, we would always leave it to the group leader, the team leader. Even when we have like a whole idea, some of us would be the major contributors in these projects and all. We are good at giving the ideas and all. Well, breaking news flashes that you have to practice public speaking and presentation. It will do you a whole lot of good, right? For you to learn how to speak in public and of course present, because even outside school, the opportunities will come where you need to speak. I mean, during your interviews, you will need to speak. You need to stand up for yourself. You need to prove yourself worthy to be hired, right? So it's important for you to learn and master the art of public speaking and presentation. And by presentation, you can go extra by learning how to, put your work together, put your slides together, learn how to design PowerPoint presentations, learn how to arrange your work in a way that is easy for anybody to read and understand. Now, number 4 on developing soft skills as a student is seek feedback on communication and collaboration. Seek feedback, accept feedback, and as a person, accept feedback, accept constructive criticism, open up to constructive criticism if possible, right? On communication and collaboration. So let us look at the battle between soft skill and hard skills, right? So some persons mistake a lot of soft skills for hard skills, right? Now, what are hard skills? Some persons ask the question, if soft skills are skills that has to do with interpersonal relationships and all, what is the difference between hard skills and technical skills? Well, the answer is that hard skills are technical knowledge. Technical knowledge like programming, accounting, um, web development, data analysis. Those are hard skills. Those are skills that require your technical knowledge, your skill set, your expertise, knowledge that you have gathered over time, and also based on experience or maybe learning activities, right? Those are hard skills, and hard skills are also referred to as technical skills. Then, while soft skills are, like earlier mentioned, are interpersonal skills, leadership skills, time management, adaptability, collaboration, skills like that, skills that foster interpersonal relationship and what have you. Then it is also important to know that soft skills enable success in real world work settings, right? So while technical skills prove that you have studied these skills within a measurable time that makes you a qualified and experienced expert in this area. Soft skills prove that you have the ability to manage conflicts, to manage interpersonal emotions and relationships in the workspace, in the real work setting, right? So let us look at how to develop soft skills, right? How to improve soft skills. Now, how to improve soft skills? How do we improve these soft skills after developing the soft skills? Number one, enroll in online courses. I've mentioned this last week. You can learn these soft skills via LinkedIn Learning. You can also go on Coursera. You can check out other online platforms. There are free courses even on Google Academy, I think, that you can take skills on soft skills. HP Life also offers some skills, some of these soft skills on their Learning Academy, right? Then you can read personal development books. For those of you who are bookworms, who like to read a lot, you can take your time to read personal development books, books around emotional intelligence, books around critical thinking, and other skills, right? You can also attend seminars and webinars. You can also practice active listening and empathy. Active listening, yes, like I've mentioned, that will go a long way to help your communication. And join volunteer or leadership programs. Yes, you can volunteer. Like I've mentioned last week, you don't necessarily have to wait for organizations to call for volunteers. If you have a certain company or industry that you are looking forward to, venture into, write to those organizations, write to those companies, proposing to volunteer your skills, proposing to, work with them for a given time, with or without pay. So here are some practical tips for students, right, who are looking forward to developing and improving their soft skills. Number one, develop public speaking and presentation abilities, like I've earlier mentioned. Learn to listen actively and give feedbacks. Join networking groups, like I've earlier mentioned. Gain experience through internships or part-time jobs, right? And very importantly, maintain a good mindset. Now, this last point is very important because I don't see the possibility of you advancing in your career path if you don't have a good mindset. And it is only with a good mindset that you would be open to learning new things and, of course, developing these skills along your career path, right? So here are a few resources. If you're listening, here are a few resources for soft skills development, right? LinkedIn Learning, I've mentioned that, where you can learn communication and leadership. Toastmasters International is public speaking training club. There's also Coursera, rather, and edX. Those are where you can learn professional development courses and, of course, books that you can use. So, to round off, in conclusion, soft skills are crucial for career growth and success. They shape how you interact, lead, and grow professionally. Continual improvement helps you to stand out in the job market, right? So that will be all for soft skills, right? For today. Right? That will be all for soft skills for today. If you enjoyed our session today, we would like to hear from you, we'd like to get feedback from you. Feel free to drop your sessions, your questions on the comments section, and we'll be glad to take your questions even in our subsequent sessions, right? Before we call it a day, I would like to, before we go on, before we round off the session for today, we would just like to take a few questions, a few insights from our co-host, right? But then that will be done after a brief break. See you.
very best in music, information, entertainment, and education. Stay locked onto Unicool Radio International, 103.5 FM.
Good afternoon and welcome to the news. Good afternoon and welcome to the news update on Unicool Radio International 103.5 FM. I am Michelle Idonwase. Starting from the home scene. The Cross River State government has reaffirmed its commitment in stepping up efforts to address the growing number of children living on the streets of Calabar. The Ministry of Women Affairs, in a memo, disclosed that it has received recommendations of targeted interventions to address the crisis. In commemoration of the International Day for Street Children, Commissioner for Women Affairs, Edema Irom, emphasized the need for collective action, noting that many of the children are victims of circumstances beyond their control. She urged collaboration among government agencies, civil society, media, and the public, while calling on parents to take greater responsibility and reject harmful beliefs that lead to children being abandoned. Also, child rights advocate James Ibor of the Basic Rights Council Initiative called for full implementation of the state's Child Rights Law 2023, stating that these children on the streets are not criminals as they need protection and a chance at a better life. Moving on from that, the Nigerian Correctional Service has dismissed reports alleging that inmates were being poorly fed and dying of hunger in custodial centers across the country. Reacting to the claims in an interview with the News Agency of Nigeria on Tuesday in Abuja, the service public relations officer Abubakar Umar stated that the reports were misleading, sensational, and grossly inaccurate. Umar also stressed that the claims, which were completely untrue, did not reflect the actual situation in the country's custodial facilities. He further explained that the federal government makes dedicated budgetary provisions every year for the feeding of inmates, and that the funds were judiciously utilized under strict supervision and guidelines. As each inmate was entitled to 3 meals daily, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, as stipulated in the operational guidelines of the service. Elsewhere, Nigerian President Bola Tinubu on Monday urged other African presidents to adopt innovative strategies to transform irrigation for greater food production amidst climate change challenges affecting farmers' productivity. Tinubu stated this while declaring open the 6th African Regional Conference on Irrigation and Drainage 2025 in Abuja, with the theme Tackling Irrigation Development and Water Management Crises in Africa. The President, Tinubu, who was represented by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, SGF Senator George Akume, noted that irrigation and water management is critical in achieving food security, promoting sustainable agriculture. Also speaking, the Minister of Water Resources and Sanitation, Engineer Joseph Utse, in his address disclosed that the Tinubu-led administration has done a lot to boost food production with massively supporting irrigation and all-year farming through the River Basin Development Authorities. While announcing that Nigeria is about to commence the implementation of its success project with the World Bank. Meanwhile, the Vice President, Senator Kashim Shettima, has commended the Akwa Ibom State government for adopting and localizing the Human Capital Development Framework, describing it as a model of visionary leadership and grassroots-driven governance. Speaking yesterday at the banquet hall of the Government House, Uyo, shortly before unveiling the Arise Human Capital Development Strategic Plan and the local government Human Capital Development Implement. Shettima emphasized that the Human Capital Development 2.0, now in its second phase, has been re-engineered to meet current realities and ensure Arise Human Capital Development Plan as a template for other states, highlighting the states as the first in Nigeria to fully localize the vision of human capital development across all local government areas. And coming up next, on your number one EDU infotainment station, 103.5 FM. We'll bring you business, entertainment, and sport updates. So we'll be back after the short break.
Malabites and Malabresses, greatest of the greatest of the greatest of the great. Wherever you are, raise up your hands in the air. We great like God.
Thank you for staying tuned. You're still on to the news update on your number one EDU infotainment station, Unico 103.5 FM. And right now, let's take a look at the foreign scene. China on Tuesday rejected what it is called manipulation and hype around two of its national captures in Ukraine after Ukrainian President Zelensky accused Moscow of dragging Beijing into its invasion. China Foreign Ministry spokesman Ling Jian, when asked about the prisoner of war, stated that it is verifying the relevant information and circumstances while urging relevant parties to accurately understand China's objective and impartial stance and to refrain from political manipulation and hype. Meanwhile, Ukraine on Monday held a press conference at which Chinese prisoner of war under armed guard told journalists that they hoped to be swapped and warned other Chinese nationals not to go to fight. However, Zelensky disclosed on Friday that several hundred Chinese nationals were fighting at the front line alongside Russia. But the Chinese government insisted that it had repeatedly issued safety advisories urging Chinese citizens to stay away from areas of armed conflict and to avoid becoming involved in conflict in any form. And let's now talk entertainment and lifestyle. Popular singer Gabriel Oche Amayi, popularly known as Terry G, has issued a stern warning against comparing him with controversial artist Portable. However, Portable has often likened to the Akpako master due to his street-up musical style and controversial personality. While reacting Vel X on Monday, Terry G described complaining as disrespectful, claiming that he has been an assistant for over 10 years. Interesting world of sports. Nasarawa United have been banished from their Lafayette Township Stadium and fined 6 million naira by the Nigerian Premier Football League for repeated violations involving poor security and fan misconduct. The sanctions followed confirmed reports of an assault on Plateau United player Vincent Tamidope and an attempt to harass match officials after the match day 33 fixtures between both clubs. In a 4-count charge, the NPFL cited Nasarawa United for breaching rules B13.52 and B13.22, C9 and C11 of the league's framework and rules. The breakdown of the fine includes 1 million naira for failing to provide adequate security, 1 million naira for failing to control supporters, breaching Rule C9, 1 million naira to cover medical expenses for the assaulted player, violating Rule C11, 3 million naira for repeated breaches of the NPFL regulations. In addition to the fine, the club will now play its remaining home matches at Patami Stadium in Gombe and punishments for the reoccurring incidents in Lafia. And that's all we can take on our news update. On your best EDU infotainment station, Unicor 103.5 FM. This news was edited by Okod Ndarake. I am Michelle Idonset. Do enjoy the rest of our broadcast. Good afternoon.
For the very best in music, information, entertainment, and education. Stay locked onto Unicool Radio International, 103.5 FM.
Check it's 1:15 p.m. and welcome back to the CAREERX show on Unical Radio International 103.5 FM, the radio station that offers you education beyond barriers. Before we went on the show, on the break, we had a good time talking about the importance, the relevance of soft skills and how we can imbibe, develop those skills, and also improve on the soft skills. We also shared resources on soft skills development. And now I am excited to introduce my co-host and of course my team members from the CAREERX Hub who will be joining us for an interactive session today. So I am happy to welcome Mr. Victor Ape of CAREERX Hub. Please say hi.
Hello guys. Thank you for having me on the show. Hello guys, thank you for listening. And as the host have said earlier, we hope that you gather enough information from this to boost your career path or your career success.
Great. So if you are just joining us once again, this is the CAREERX show and it's happening live on Unical Radio International 103.5 FM, the radio station that offers you education beyond barriers. And the CAREERX show is that platform where we are empowering students for career success. So earlier on, we had a session on the importance of soft skills, and we shared knowledge on, of course, the difference between soft skills and hard skills, which are also referred to as technical skills. And we went on to share, insights on how to develop and imbibe soft skills, how to also improve soft skills, right? We also shared resources, right, around soft skills development. And now we are on to the interactive session where we get expert advice from our team members from the CAREERX Hub. And we have just heard from Mr. Victor, and then also in the studio, we have Mr. Samuel Ben David of the CAREERX Hub. Please say hi.
Hello. Pleasure to meet you.
Great. It's good to have both of you in the studio. So I'll quickly like us to attend to a few frequently asked questions that we get from students, who of course gets in contact with the CAREERX team. Right. So one of those questions I would like us to look at is, even as experts that you are there skills, soft skills that you are currently working on? I mean, we know you are done with school and all, you're working. Are these soft skills that you are currently building on as a person? So let's begin with Mr. Victor.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Buket. I'll share my response via an experience I had immediately after leaving school. After school, I landed my first job with Smart Gov, a company of Cross River State Government, InterSwitch. On that job, I had all the technical requirements to excel in that workspace. But I almost failed for one skill I did not have under my belt. Something I was not taught in class, something no one really mentioned, really meant anything to anybody. I did not see it as important or that would affect me in my career path. That was teamwork.
Teamwork.
I had this difficulty collaborating with others.
Oh.
And this type of person who feels, okay, it's me to my laptop. I sit in front of my laptop, get the job done. If I'm supposed to work on the module, send to the integrator for the person to do his job. So on reaching the field, I got to understand that it does not work that way. There's no island. There's nobody that works on their own. You have to collaborate with other experts. You seek advice, communicate with them, tell them what you are working on. I was not used to that in school. So it became a team of challenge. From there, just the way you have shared earlier on, I took on courses on teamwork from Coursera especially. I succeeded, and it went a long way to help. Even after leaving that firm, I met with AA Agro International as a technical staff, and with the knowledge I gathered from Coursera
about soft skills,
about those leadership and teamwork skills, I was able to excel better off like I did at Smart Go.
Oh,
So yeah, I struggled too. But I'm
Okay.
improving. I'm still improving.
you're still improving on your soft skill.
Yes.
Is there a particular soft skill that currently you are trying to build around?
That will still be the
Collaboration.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, great.
Working on it and trying to.
Yes, of course. Learning never stops. Learning never stops, right? The more you think that, oh, I've actually come to the peak of this knowledge, the more you discover that there are levels to it, And of course, as long as you continue to, advance into a new learning, into a new workspace, into a new environment, and then there are new staffs, new colleagues joining you, there is need for you to better understand these persons and understand and expand your knowledge about this particular soft skills. Thank you very much for that wonderful response. So, Mr. Victor, is there, Mr. Samuel Ben David, is there a particular soft skill that you are currently, developing yourself on?
Yeah. Let me be like Victor that used experience.
Okay.
So back then in school, our faculty normally organizes all the career. They organize career fair.
Okay. Yeah, career fair.
So with that, there's this particular guy that was talking about tech companies and how you can start and what you can do. It's going to guide you.
Yeah.
So I was too scared to go and meet him. I was so scared. And my friend was like, oh, let's go meet this guy now. This guy wants to do this show, happy. I was like, I don't know what to say. What like tell him? I'm interested. Anyway, I'll go do this now. Search. And my friend went to go and meet him.
Okay.
He collected his number and I did not go. So
communication. Yeah.
So now he's currently working with the guy
Okay.
in his firm. And I have made the opportunity
Because we're not able to communicate. Oh, great.
Network, exactly.
Okay.
So communication and networking was my big problem.
Mm,
And I'm currently working on it. I'm
okay.
still here. I've identified the part I'm lacking on and
Yeah.
pushing to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a great one. That's a very great one. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Some of us are naturally we are naturally shy people, and tend to very reserved. You get, but as a career person, as one who must work in a space with people, it's important for us to learn communication. And like I mentioned earlier, it has to do with active listening and verbal communication. You have to learn the art of public speaking, and all of that. So yes, we appreciate your response, and we know that subsequently we continue building on all of our soft skills. So I know there are students out there, right, that are asking, so now that I've learned about this skill, maybe on Coursera or on edX or some other online platform, Allison, what can CAREERX or what is CAREERXHUB doing? The Directorate of Career Services in the University of Calabar, what can they do to help students, imbibe these soft skills and develop their soft skills?
Okay. First, I want to say to students, don't be too shy to approach the career officers in your faculties or your departments.
Okay.
They are there to serve you. They are there for you. They are there just because of you. The school did not employ them for them to warm those benches. They are there to listen to you. And from the bench of the directorate itself, the office is open 24/7. Each time you go there, you will meet an expert. We have guidance and counseling experts. We have doctors. We have professionals who are trained psychiatrists, trained psychologists, ready to listen to you and help you with whatever you are going through. Don't be too shy to approach our decks. Then for CAREERXHUB, we are not just here to tell you about soft skills and teach you over the video. We have our office here in the university. You come to all faculty of law. You always find us there. We are here to also bring you to mitigate that distance between companies that are looking for potential employees.
Yeah.
To mitigate that distance between internships, to bring to your doorsteps professionals from different industries to give you insights on how the professional workspace looks like. So we are not just going to be talking and talking and talking. Our doors are also open to link you up to companies, to link you up with potential employers, to give you room and provide opportunities for you for volunteer jobs, for internships, and a lot of other things. Also, we guide on career choices. We also guide on career focuses, how to pattern your strengths, not to be a jack of all trades, doing too many at the same time, how to focus and how to scale the world after school. So please and please and please again, CAREERXHUB under the Directorate of Career Services, our doors are always open and waiting for you guys. We are ready and ever ready.
Awesome. These are very exciting and I dare say very mouth-watering services, by the career services and of course the CAREERXHUB. And I don't know, this seems like a whole list of all of the offers and services that you've mentioned. But then I believe that Mr. Ben David had one thing or two to add to what CAREERXHUB and the Directorate of Career Services, has to offer to help students develop themselves on, of course, soft skills and all. Okay.
So part of what we are offering to is career assessment. So
career assessment.
Yes. After we have guided you, created the pathway for you. So try to assess your path, see whether you are doing all that path you're speaking. Yeah. So another part again is we try to network with alumni and other companies you have mentioned.
Okay, great. So there is a linkage between the students and an alumni network.
I would really love to mention that coming up soon, we'll be launching our website.
Okay.
This website is not just like a site, it's like an application, web application for all students.
Okay.
When you come there, you register with us. Don't worry, it will be free for students.
Free, okay, yeah, because if you attach any free now.
The registration notion there is just to create the profile.
Yeah.
Where you can upload your academic progress. You can upload just like a portfolio.
Yeah.
Where potential employers, don't worry, we'll scrutinize those employers. They don't have access to your personal details.
Great.
Details will be safe. You can create your profile, create your portfolio very just like LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Where potential employers can come, this student is doing this student is doing this student has gone for this internship program. All of this will be contained there in the web application. Open to every company registered with us on that web platform.
Awesome.
So we are scrutinizing every information given out, so your details will be completely safe with us.
Whoa! That means that for every student who signs up and registers on the site, provides their information, they would have access to a whole list of prospective employers who are looking out to filter the persons who are employable. Great. And of course, getting them. Wow, these are really, really great information that I believe that every student of the University of Calabar and every young person out there looking forward to upskill and of course get themselves on the right path of their career journey should get privy of, right? And once again, if you're just joining us, this is the CAREERX show on Unical Radio International 103.5 FM, the radio station that offers you education beyond barriers. It's been a wonderful and great time on the show today. And remember, same station, same time next week. In fact, Thursday this week, we will be here to also give you another insight on your career journey. Until we meet again, I'm your host for the show. All right, meanwhile, let me leave a call line for those of you who would like to reach out to the CAREERX team. So if you would like to reach out to the CAREERX team, you can reach their hotline via 0813 154 2720. Again, the hotline for CAREERXHUB is 0813 154 2720. Meanwhile, if you would like to visit their office is located at the old Faculty of Law building, first floor, the left wing, right? If you get to the building, you will see the signboard that reads Directorate of Career and Student Support Services Center. That is where you can get all of the information and guidance that you need. So once again, it's been a great time with you, our wonderful listeners. My name is U to the K to the E to the T. Phuket Friday, and it's been wonderful doing this with Mr. Victor Ape and Mr. Ben David Samuel of the CAREERXHUB show. Until we meet again, remember your career journey starts now. Have a great afternoon.